No, you son of a bitch. You sign a waiver saying you accept responsibility for trying to cram this stuff down our throat because you are financed and bullied by Big Pharma. Now let's go to the clip of these backtracking pieces of trash. I'm so angry, I can't even talk. I'm sick of con artists. Now these backtracking pieces of trash. I'm so angry, I can't even talk. Now these backtracking pieces of trash. Look, I've already said it 50 times. I don't know how else I can say it to show you what's happening. Even the people that go on the news and say they don't want their kids forced to take this stuff say this is a wrong law. There is no stinking law. It's a fraud. These people are liars. I am sick of it. And thank God people are starting to get this hoax. That's why, as I said earlier, we're going to play the clip. A day after we started talking about this, they got the local news to admit, okay, there is a waiver. But it's a waiver to a law that doesn't exist. It's a waiver to a BS policy. And when you go to the hospital now, pregnant wives are not supposed to take vaccines until now they say it's good for you, even though it admittedly is on the insert and cause spontaneous miscarriage. And the doctor comes and says, fine, sign a waiver, you accept responsibility. No, you son of a bitch. You sign a waiver saying you accept responsibility for trying to cram this stuff down our throat because you are financed and bullied by Big Pharma. Now let's go to the clip of these backtracking pieces of trash. I'm so angry, I can't even talk. I'm sick of con artists.
To me, the whooping cough shot in Vacaville. Students who don't have the shot will no longer be allowed in class unless they opt out of the requirement with a waiver. For more on the story, let's go live to News 10's Karen Massey, who is outside Vacaville High School. Karen?
Well, News 10 has been inundated with phone calls and emails every time we do this story. Parents are complaining about having to get their children vaccinated, including the parents here at Vacaville High. Well, the law says parents do have a choice in this matter as long as they're willing to deal with the consequences.
Hit pause, back it up 30 seconds. This is the doublespeak. When they get caught in the hoax, they then say, well, parents are complaining about having to get their kids vaccinated. You don't have to. It's like saying parents are complaining they have to buy a used car from this place or they have to eat chicken fried steaks at this certain restaurant. But now parents have been told there's a waiver. And then they go back into saying you still have to do it. It's all a fraud. Your government is a hoax that hires a bunch of yes people that'll sit there and BS you. And if it doesn't make you angry, something is wrong with you. Go back to the clip.
Karen?
Well, News 10 has been inundated with phone calls and emails every time we do this story. Parents are complaining about having to get their children vaccinated, including the parents here at Vacaville High. Well, the law says parents do have a choice in this matter as long as they're willing to deal with the consequences.
Hit pause. The law says the parents do have a choice. See, they're trying to get you conned that you've got to take inoculations from Big Pharma, caught adding cancer, viruses, you name it, as long as you're willing to face the consequences. So they're trying to trick you to sign some waiver saying you're a bad parent when you don't have to fill out the waiver. You notice that mother they first went to earlier and said, oh, well, your daughter's now studying at home. In most of those cases, people start homeschooling and pull them out because the school kicks them out. So the mother says, well, I'll just keep them at home. And the school, so they still get federal money, say, don't homeschool, put them in at-home school, run by the school system. It's kind of a quasi-purgatory. But you still get the dirty bureaucrat there going, well, I'm just going to come in and give them a shot. Here in the land of the free, home of the brave. Let's go back to the clip.
A nurse explains to a mom about getting the whooping cough shot for her 3 sons. They're among 3,100 Vacaville students who began the school year without the vaccination.
We have whittled it down to this morning. It was 154
look
students.
at that zombie.
All of them have been receiving phone calls all last week and received notices in the mail saying that they needed to get their Tdap.
Get your muscle nice and loose.
That's a shot that inoculates against the sometimes deadly disease. Students just offer up their arm in return for an all-important document saying they have it.
Okay, Ruben, this is your pass to get back into class.
I wasn't even sure I was going to do it. I wanted to do a little bit of research first.
Count Michelle Takis among parents concerned about the impact of vaccinations.
God, look at these idiots.
A lot of the things with immunizations these days talk of them being linked to autism and ADHD and that kind of stuff.
She had signed a waiver saying no shots for her son based on personal beliefs.
Today we just decided, I got off work a little bit early, let's go just get it done.
Healthcare professionals are glad for the change of heart.
The whole reason for the requirement was in response to the pertussis outbreak that started last year in California, and when many folks signed waivers
turn it off. The con keeps going. The requirement, the requirement. There is no law. There were 10 deaths in California out of 30+ million people, they claim, last year. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot trust this government that's been involved in radiating our troops, nerve gassing them, testing stuff on foster children, killing them. And you got a bunch of well-meaning idiot zombies like the school nurse and the rest of them out there pushing this stuff on kids. And I will not apologize of extremism in defense of liberty. I've had enough of this. I've read too many UN and Rockefeller documents like we showed you last week on air where they said they're adding sterilants and cancer viruses to the vaccines to reduce population. Our life expectancy is dropping. The IQ is dropping. Cancer is doubling and tripling depending on the type. These people force medicate us with toxic waste they call sodium fluoride. I'm sick of it. The government wants in our bodies. They want to force this crap on us. And I, for one, have had enough.